Well, hello everybody. So today we're going to be talking about kind of a tragedy that's happened in my personal life. Not really a tragedy, but just something that's kind of been sad, because this is a person that I kind of grew up with, and it's a shame to see what they've become. So essentially, um, what has happened is that I used to, I grew up with somebody that turned out to be kind of a weirdo. So this, I'm not going to tell them you guys their first and last name or anything, but what I will tell you is that their name is Josh. Now there are like 100 million Joshes out there, so I don't think it's a problem giving, that little bit of limited information. That his name was Josh. So Josh was, he was basically he was in the same Boy Scout troop as me, so we grew up together. And at first, he was like kind of a good kid. You know what I mean? Like he was kind of a good kid. There was not really much wrong with him. But then he got older, as he got older and everything, I really started to notice a disturbing pattern with him. So ever since like 14 or 15 years old, in scouts, usually you're around like first class or star during that time. So you're in the kind of the higher ranks. Um, in this case, I think he was first class at the time. Anyways, I don't think that really matters. He was first class at the time. I guess it kind of does. He was held back from getting star because he lied and tried to steal money from my dad. So he said that he needed money for bullets because the summer camp does rifle shooting and shotgun shooting. The Boy Scout summer camp. This is the same camp that I worked at this summer. We used to go to as kids all the time and do merit badges. Now, I've never shot a rifle or shotgun until I worked there. I fired a few rounds while I was there, but besides that, I've never shot rifles or shotguns. So, essentially, what happened was that it was closed due to flooding that year because the camp that we go to always has some sort of problem. Whether it be extreme heat of values of 115 or higher, flooding, thunderstorms, sometimes severe thunderstorms, you name it. And basically, this summer camp has it, right? So this year it flooded really, really bad, and I believe that they canceled rifle shooting. Well, Josh said that he spent all his money and he needed money for bullets. The problem was that my dad knew that it was canceled due to flooding. And so he kind of played along with it, and then he called out Josh and said, "You just tried to steal from me. Give me back my money." And so he gave him back his money. No, I don't care. I'm trying to explain my friend's sketchy past. Oh my god, I don't give a shit about Atarongo. What the hell? Okay, so anyways, that's essentially what happened there. Was, Josh was caught kind of and that's not really a big deal, he was 14 at the time. He was in Scouts, so he should have known better, boys that are like first class or star are supposed to have their shit straightened out, right? They're not supposed to be going around doing sketchy stuff and stealing, right? I expect that from like a really young kid, like a scout that has kind of like a behavior problem, right? Not from somebody that's kind of a senior scout, right? Senior scouts are supposed to be leaders, and stealing is not an example of leadership. So, it didn't really. I thought, okay, well, this is just one little sketchy thing, right? Well, sometime later, he starts to talk about all sorts of sketchy stuff that he does. So he slid through the sewage plant at the summer camp, and then what he did was he started talking to a lot of girls that were a few years younger than him, a few too many. Now, it wasn't so bad that I was like, "Oh, I need to disassociate with this guy." Well, it was pretty bad. It was pretty sketchy, but it's not like I was just gonna call him out on the spot in the meetings as some sort of, um, I didn't think it was extremely bad. These were 3-year age gap relationships, which is pretty bad. So the way that I view dating is 1 to 2 years, and this is when it comes to like if you're dating as a teenager. 1 to 2 years, fine. 3 years, sketchy, but I'm not gonna call you the ultimate creep in the world, but sketchy, and you shouldn't do it. 4 years and more is like you're a pedophile, like you need help, or you need to go to jail for a long time, that kind of thing. So this was kind of in that yellow area, like you're a senior and you're dating a girl that's 3 years younger than you, and I didn't know if months came into a factor. So it could have been that. This is another thing too, is that I was uncertain. But basically, this girl that he was dating, he told us about like, and I kind of thought he was just being an edgelord. Like, yeah, there's no way he does this, but he talked about bringing girls to abandoned hospitals downtown, because I lived kind of near a city. It wasn't a huge city. It wasn't like Chicago, New York City, or anything. But it was kind of like a city the size of Miami. I do not live in Miami. I do not live in the state of Florida. But it was that kind of size city. It was like a medium-sized city, a bit smaller than like Miami, for example. So I think, oh well, that's just him being a sketchy edge lord, or not a sketchy edge lord, just being an edge lord. Like there's no way that he's doing this. He's just bragging it up because he wants to seem like some sort of cool teenager or whatever. When in reality, or I thought, well, he's just maybe exploring these places with girls. And then he started talking about how he did girls at the abandoned hospital. And I'm like, okay, you are definitely kind of sketchy, and I do not want to be around you. I still thought he was joking at the time, but it was starting to become like really kind of weird that he kept bringing up these same jokes and kept kind of bragging about these things. So it was kind of strange to me. And then what happened was, I he would go out in like 2 in the morning and like to these hospitals with his friends to explore, which could have been filled with like meth heads and shit. So we talked. Josh and I talked, and this guy is a threatening individual, right? So I was kind of scared of him. He's much bigger. He's much more muscular than me, and he will kind of like threaten you. Like he won't say I'm gonna kill you, but if you mess with him or if you deny talking to him or something, he's gonna kind of be like pushy, basically. Like he's gonna get you to talk. So I was always kind of scared to like speak out against him or say anything against him, or but basically, yeah, I thought, oh, this guy is just being an edge lord. Teenagers do this all the time, and this is nothing that's different. All right, let's see if we can land this. This guy is not doing anything differently from like a normal ass teenager. So, yeah, I mean but it's starting to become like, really, like, why do you keep talking about these young girls, and why do you keep talking about bringing them to hospitals, and why do you keep talking about stealing pieces of the hospital and dumping them on the side of the road? He literally stole a piece of the infrastructure of the abandoned hospital where probably all the meth heads are, and literally showed me a video of him throwing a piece over the highway. And so I'm like, I really don't know if I want to go in this guy anywhere. Like, I would not trust him if I were to ride in his car with him. Like, I'm gonna stay away from this guy, right? So me and Josh, we kind of quit being friends there, but it's not like I completely disassociated with him. I just always thought he was kind of this really sketchy guy that was kind of an edgelord, but also like really sketchy. So, oh, there's gas holders down there. I gotta blow those up. Let's make awesome explosions. Yeah, those make awesome fucking explosions. So, now what happened? Well, I don't know how that... Okay, I don't know how that flew. Now what happened? Well, basically, sometime later, I hear that Josh is being investigated. And no, I'm not making this up. Josh is being investigated for being in a relationship with a girl several years younger than him. And there was accused, like, nude photos on his phone, like explicit photos on his phone. He was innocent. He was found innocent and didn't get taken to jail, but he was given a warning by the investigators, like, don't do this shit again. You know, you're going to end up on the sex offender registry. Because he was 18 and he had all these photos on his phone, and he could have ended up on the sex offender registry really easy. And these girls, again, they were like 3 years younger than him. And I think the investigators narrowly gave him a pass because they didn't, yes, the guy is weird, but they didn't want to, oh, Jesus Christ. They didn't want the guy to go to jail for 20 years for doing something dumb. Right, requesting some explicit photos from somebody, 3 years younger than you when you're 18 is a dumb move. It's sketchy, but it's not like a 26-year-old trying to get something from a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? It's really sketchy. But I think they narrowly let him by because they didn't want to group him in with a bunch of hardcore serial predators that, had 15-year age gaps in a federal prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, this guy probably deserves consequences, but, like, federal prison for 15 years, I don't know. I definitely think that it was extremely sketchy of him. Because, again, these were 3-year age gaps, and he was requesting explicit photos. And so it's, when it comes to legal shit, and this gets a lot of people, right? And I don't necessarily agree with this part, which is that in the state of Oklahoma, you have the only time where Romeo and Juliet laws, and that's not cyber laws, that's Romeo and Juliet laws for physical sex. The only time that it's legal is if you two were minors while dating and one happens to turn 18 or older. If you're 18 and you meet someone in your senior level high school, senior class, or one of your classes in high school as a senior, and they're 17 and you're 18 and you didn't date when both of you were minors, you could go to jail for that. For like 15 years, 10-15 years. You can't do that. That's illegal in the state of Oklahoma. And I don't agree with that law because, again, like, if you have some sort of dumb senior... Not even dumb. Like, anybody would expect this to be reasonable, right? Like, so you're in senior year, and there's a 17-year-old girl, and you're 18, because you turn 17 and 18 in senior year. I know seniors that have dated sophomores, which is that 2-year age gap. And most people accept that. Like, that's fine, right? But in terms of legal, it's very not fine, especially in the state of Oklahoma. Romeo and Juliet laws do not apply unless you two are both minors while dating. And so Josh was in deep shit because he's 18, 19, getting into these relationships with these 16-year-olds. And the 2-year age gap wouldn't even apply because it's a 3-year age gap, not a 2-year age gap. So I'm not sure if the investigators gave him a pass or what, but it was a miracle that he made it out. Like an absolute miracle that he made it out of that investigation. So now I'm thinking, well, Josh is really, really sketchy. This is not a guy that I want to hang around at all. He's been investigated by the authorities. You know, his claims about bringing girls to abandoned hospitals is probably true. It probably is. I don't have any evidence besides the fact that with his friends, he dumped a piece of the hospital infrastructure on the side of the highway. But that's what he's claiming to me. He claimed that in senior year he had a girl that was a freshman that was 3 years younger than him. Now, I don't know if it was 3.5, because I would consider myself, I've been groomed before by someone 3.5 years older than me. I just turned 15 and they were almost 19 years old. So again, I would consider a 3-year age gap really sketchy, and anything more than that, 3.5 or 4 years, is basically pedophilia. So Josh was always, Josh I did not want to associate with anymore. I kind of taught, my Scoutmaster kind of invited him on cookouts and stuff like that. When, turn this off. A Scoutmaster kind of invited him on cookouts and things like that, and we talked. I'm not going to raise a scene in the middle of the dinner, right? Especially since he's legally innocent. Like, I'm just not going to do that, but this is not a guy that I want to associate with. So, shit. So, whoops. Oh, shit. So, God, I don't want to deal with these motherfuckers. These people are hard to escape from. They're gonna send fucking choppers on my ass. And that's the last thing that I need. I should just die in this game. Let me guess, they're gonna send choppers from this mountain up there. Or cars, I mean. Thank you. Oh my god. I got lucky there, because the Black Hand is very hard to escape. They're very, very hard to escape. So, where was I? This is not an individual that I want to kind of hang out with. This is an individual that I am kind of grossed out by. Now, when it came to him telling me that he had a freshman girl in senior year, I kind of reported it to my dad, but I thought it was kind of fake, because guys are kind of like, oh, this is my girl, and some people are just like completely kidding, like they're just joking, like, this is my girl, she's from freshman year. Like, they're just being stupid, they're being funny, they're being ironic. They don't actually date freshmen in senior year. So after all of this, I get about like 6 months go by since the last time that I've seen Josh, which was at one of the cookouts. And this morning, I got news, actually this afternoon, because I wake up at 3:30 in the morning because I'm fucking fucked, because I go to bed at 4 a.m. 3:30 this afternoon when I woke up, I basically got a message from one of my friends. And this friend tells me, hey, Josh Salazar just got caught being a pedophile. And so I go, so this is on Snapchat. And I've downloaded and uninstalled Snapchat several times. I do not like Snapchat. I think it's for average extrovert people. And I'm really not used to the social kind of culture of Snapchat. It's just like a popularity contest, and it sucks. The only reason why I used Snapchat was so I could get into a meaningful relationship. Right, and I feel like most Snapchat relationships, like relationships stemming off Snapchat, are for popularity. They're not for love anyways. So I uninstalled Snapchat. I don't like using it. I think it's for average extroverted people, and it's just not for me. You know what? I'm just gonna die. Alright, now let me just... Alright, one more. Oh, God damn it, just fucking die. I hate the healing on this game, it's so fast. Yes, please kill me, tank. Oh my god, you know what, I'm just gonna steal a fight. You guys can't even do your job, then I might as well kill you guys. Okay, so anyways, where was I? So this morning or this afternoon I got a snap that this man was a pedophile. And it turns out that he was caught as a 19-year-old with more relationships of a 16 with a 16-year-old. These were like new allegations, and they spread all over my old school where I used to go to. Snap Story of the Year or whatever. Like, it basically spread all over the school, and basically it also alleged, first of all, the person that confronted Josh was not me or my friend that shared it, it was someone else. And basically what it consisted of was, so this person was like, what the hell is wrong with you, man? You, first of all, you're dating a 19-year-old, or you're dating a 16-year-old as a 19-year-old. You're an incel fucking ass. And I think he might be an incel, like he's like one of these desperate incels that are, you know, constantly begging for women to give them something or whatever. That was never me. I would consider myself kind of an incel, at least until I got into this gay relationship. But, you know, I never did get into anything long-lasting with a woman before, so I would maybe consider myself kind of on the incel spectrum. But I never would do anything like this, you know what I mean? And I've always been very moderate in how I've taken some of the incel ideologies. I've never let it affect my relationships or my friendships with women. But I know there are women out there that are like, I need a $600,000 a year man, 6 foot, 6 figure, you know what I mean? And, wow, this is a really nice car. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the same-sex relationship. I'm gonna be meeting my boyfriend this weekend, this next weekend, and we're gonna kiss and hold hands and stuff, while probably, like, visiting a public park or something. We like public display of affection. I don't know why people generally don't. Maybe for same-sex I can, because some people just don't accept it. Yes, that's me as a gay conservative saying that. Because some people will probably get onto you, but I doubt it. Like, I don't think most people care as long as you... Whatever. We're getting sidetracked. So, anyways, Josh, so the first thing was that Josh was basically an incel begging... Basically, from what I could gather, was just begging women for anything. And, when he didn't get what he wanted, he told these girls to kill themselves. And these girls were 16 years of age while he was 19. Now, if you're going to date a girl and you're 19 and they're 16, that's creepy. But if you tell a girl that's 3 years younger to you, that's underdeveloped, to kill herself as well, that's also really fucked up. So now I'm really definitely... I haven't seen any evidence, but the thing is that he didn't even deny it, right? And instead of taking responsibility for his actions, he just threatened that he was going to kill himself. which is very bad, I would say. And so yeah, that's basically where we've left off today. Is that I got this news. It was quite bad because I grew up with this guy, and I don't know who to speak about it. I might speak to my scoutmaster about it. Wow, this is a big... Here, what if I derail the train? Damn it. I just crashed into the train. Anyways, I think that's all. Thank you for watching.